Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be reacting to the movie that made me check every closet in my house. Sounds like a really interesting name by Chupacabro. I think he just derived that name from Chupacabra, you know? Okay, let's get started and see what's in it for us. They live in your attic, okay?
There's a genre of horror movie that's basically
Oh, it's this guy, I know him. I know him.
extinct now. The kind where you genuinely have no idea what's going to happen next. Not because it's random, because the filmmaker actually planned something you won't see coming. Those barely exist anymore. Everything's a remake or a sequel or based on some popular
Yeah, I agree. That's how it's been going.
IP that already told you the whole story on Twitter. ICU came out in 2019 and nobody watched it. It opened the same weekend as Captain Marvel and Dumbo, which is how you know the studio wanted it to die quietly. And it almost did. It made about $4 at the box office, more than I make. And then it got dumped on streaming. And that should have been the end. Except people who actually saw it wouldn't shut up about it. Not in the normal way where people say, oh, that was good, but more in the way where they'd grab you by the shoulders and say, you need to watch this right now and I can't tell you why. So I watched it, and about 40 minutes in, I paused it because I was like, what's going on? I'm
Yeah, I'm also like that now. What's going
being
on?
lied to here. It's just another haunted house movie with a family falling apart and objects mysteriously moving around. Been there,
Okay.
done that. We've got the emotional trauma. But then I kept watching, and the movie did something that I've genuinely never seen done before. It stopped, rewound itself, and showed me that everything I just watched was completely different than what I thought was watching. Here's what I can tell you without ruining it. The movie has two twists. First one makes you go, oh, that's clever. The second one made me go get up and check if my front door was locked. And then check again, and then check my attic, which I don't think I'd been in since I moved into this house 3 years ago. This is
Now, if a movie actually has that kind of effect on you, that means it was a really good movie and you enjoyed it.
the story of ICU and why it's one of the most underrated horror movies of all time. It all starts when a 10-year-old boy disappears. His name's Justin Witter, and he's riding his bike through the park on a sunny afternoon. It's normal kid stuff, and then something just yanks him off the bike hard. The movie doesn't show you what does it, which is a smart choice because your brain fills in the worst things that any special effect could. His bike's then left there with the wheels still spinning. The cops then show up and find a green pocket knife at the scene, and this is where things get complicated because the same type of knife was found in a bunch of child abductions 15 years ago. Someone already went to prison for those crimes though, so either there's a copycat or they locked up the wrong guy, or something else is happening that nobody's figured out yet. Detective Greg Harper gets assigned to the case. He's your standard movie
I mean, like, that's like a serial kidnapper or something like that.
detective. He keeps everything bottled up and probably hasn't smiled since 2003, just like a
Yeah, makes sense.
normal father figure should. And his home life is a complete disaster. His wife Jackie just had an affair, and their teenage son Connor won't even look at her. The breakfast
Makes sense. That's like 90% of the horror movies.
scene is brutal. Jackie
Like, you will hardly ever see a horror movie where the relationships are normal and the family is normal and everyone trusts each other with their life.
tries to make this nice meal, and Connor just refuses to eat it. He sits there radiating pure teenage hatred. Greg's caught in the middle, which would be rough if he wasn't investigating a child kidnapping. The film sets up two parallel mysteries here. The obvious one is the missing kid. The domestic tension is just as important. You've got a family that's already broken before anything supernatural or weird happens.
Yeah, but that's not that important.
And that's going to matter.
No,
a lot of horror movies forget that you need to care about the people before you scare them. So Greg goes to work on the case and Jackie stays home. And this is when the house starts doing things that it shouldn't. Small stuff at first though. Doors creaking, items getting moved around, and then it
typical horror movie
stuff. A repairman shows up to fix a broken window, does his job, and on his way out, he thanks Jackie's daughter for letting him inside. Which
Wait, there is no daughter?
Is a problem because the Harpers don't have a daughter. Jackie's just standing there trying to process what he said, and the guy's already driving away. Then the silverware disappears, but not like one fork. All of it. Every piece.
And let me guess, they tried to stab her?
Piece gone. Family photos get pulled out of their frames. just the pictures. The frames stay on the wall. The TV turns itself on in the middle of the night. It's classic haunted house behavior. Except
Yes,
Jackie's
that's really
starting to think that
classic.
she's losing it because nobody else is seeing this stuff happen. What's effective here?
That does not mean you are losing it. That could also mean the place is haunted and maybe you should move out. But if that thing keeps happening after you have moved out, that
Here's how
probably means that you are not alright mentally. You're not doing very well.
the movie plays it straight. The music, the camera work, everything's telling you that this is a ghost story. You're supposed to think something paranormal is happening. The film's counting on you making that assumption because it needs you wrong for the twist to work. Greg starts noticing things too. One night he gets locked in a closet in Connor's room, like physically trapped, the door won't open. And he's pounding on it until Jackie hears him and pulls it open from the outside. But nobody's there. Nothing's blocking it. The door just wouldn't open, and now it does. And then Jackie sees something under Connor's bed one night. She's checking on him, and there's this black frog mask just staring out from under the mattress. She doesn't know what to make of it, doesn't want to start another fight with Connor, so she just leaves it alone, which is the kind of decision you only make when your family's already so messed up that a creepy mask feels like the least of your problems.
Yeah,
that
makes
mask is the film's visual anchor. It shows up in the marketing. It's the image everyone...
I'm gonna be honest, that does not look something very... That looks like one of those things that people made with clay, isn't it?
remembers. Hell, it's probably on this thumbnail. But in context, it's just this weird, unexplained thing that Jackie sees once and doesn't follow up on. The movie's dropping clues constantly, but disguising them as red herrings. That's good screenwriting, making you look at evidence.
Disguising them as what? Let me turn on the captions.
Constantly, but disguising them as red herrings.
Red herrings. I don't know what red herrings
That's
are.
good screenwriting, making you look at evidence without even realizing that it's evidence. Meanwhile, Greg and his partner Spitzy are interviewing survivors from the old kidnapping case, trying to find any connection to Justin's disappearance. They visit Tommy Braun, one of the two kids who survived 15 years ago, and Tommy sees Greg and immediately has a complete breakdown. A full panic attack, he can't breathe, he's freaking out just the sight of him. Greg assumes the kid's traumatized by anything police related, which makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Doesn't think anything else of it. Neither does the audience. You file it away and move on. Back at the house, Jackie's trying to hold everything together when Todd...
Oh, is it something like that? The kid itself is the very kidnapper who got like some kind of ritual, who got kidnapped by the kidnapper, and now he kidnaps other people because he just can't really cope with the fact that he was once kidnapped. Is it going to be something like that? But then again, it does not really explain what yanked that for the kid in green and what's going on in the house.
Goes up. Todd's the guy she had the affair with, and he wants her back. She's telling him no, it's over. She's trying to fix her marriage. They're in the kitchen having this tense conversation, and suddenly a coffee mug just falls from somewhere upstairs and hits Todd in the head, knocking him out cold. Jackie panics. She thinks Connor threw it, that her son saw Todd and lost it. So she drags Todd's unconscious body to the basement and figures she'll hide him until she can get Connor out of the house.
That is a very bad decision. I think she would have been safer if she like just straight up throw him out of there. You know, like I think that would have had been better. Like this has more chances of getting caught than if instead she took him to his place.
And then take Todd to the hospital. She drives Connor to school, leaves Todd bleeding in the basement, and when she comes back, he's dead.
Of course he is dead. What do you mean? I thought she treated the... Oh, that is so fucking stupid. Now, she's got to deal with a dead body.
From the mug, though, because someone beat him to death with a baseball bat. The film is...
Huh? Okay, that was pretty unexpected.
It's now juggling 3 different mysteries, and you still think that they're all connected. The missing boy, the haunted house stuff, and now a murder. Your brain's trying to link them because that's what stories do. They connect. But ICU is counting on that instinct to misdirect you. from what's actually happening. Jackie then
Okay.
calls Greg, and he comes home to find his wife standing over her dead lover. She's convinced Connor did it, that their son murdered someone.
Wait, but she already left Connor at the school.
Greg looks at the body, looks at his wife, and makes a decision. They're going to cover this up. That night, they're
Yeah, obviously that makes sense that he wants to save his wife because if this thing gets out, she is the prime suspect. Like, then they're gonna slate it like, because he wanted to come back and she was not wanting that, but he still insisted, so she did this.
wrap Todd in a tarp, drive out to the woods, and bury him in a shallow grave. It's this grim, sad scene where you realize the family's completely fallen apart. They're not even questioning if they should stop doing this. They're just doing it. Greg's a cop, and he's burying a body to protect his son from a murder the kid didn't.
I don't understand how did they not say it. Her wife just left his son at school. This is what she saw after when she returned home. So how is her son doing that when he's at school?
Commit. And while they're out in the woods, Connor's home alone, and things get worse. He finds the missing silverware stuffed in the dryer. Then he gets a message on his computer asking if he knows what frogging is.
I don't know what frogging is
And
that.
before he can answer, if someone in a frog mask attacks him from behind. Greg and Jackie come home and find Connor unconscious in the bathtub, hands bound with duct tape and a green pocket knife, just like the one from Justin's kidnapping, sitting right there
Oh,
next to him. But now the movie rewinds and shows you what actually was going on. The screen goes dark and we jump back to a few days earlier, before
alright.
Justin
That's a new character. We haven't seen her before.
disappeared, before anything weird started happening. And we're in the attic of the Harper house watching two people crawl through a vent.
Oh, the repairman said something about a girl, their daughter, and they did not have a daughter. So I think that person saw the ghost of her.
Their names are Mindy and Alec. They're in their 20s, dirty, carrying backpacks, and they've been living in this house the entire time. They're froggers. That's the actual term for it. They are people who secretly live in occupied homes, hopping from place to place. The word comes from how frogs jump
Oh,
from lily pad to lily pad, which is cute until you realize it's describing home invasion as a lifestyle
yeah,
choice.
yeah.
As in, there might be someone in your house right now.
No, I have like there have actually been scenes like that where like someone was sleeping in their attic or something like that. I don't know the exact thing, but that has actually been the case before.
And you don't know it. Mindy's the careful one. She's got rules. Don't get seen, don't leave traces, stay quiet. Take a shower while they're gone, grab some food from the back of the fridge, sleep in the attic. Basic squatter etiquette. Alec's supposed to follow these rules, but he doesn't. Look, this perspective shift could have killed the momentum in the film. Stopping your story halfway through to introduce new characters is a very risky move, but it
It
works
is.
because you're not watching a new story. You're watching the same story from the other side of the wall. Every weird moment from Act 1 is about to make horribly terrible sense. Alex thinks
Okay, but that still makes no sense of the kidnappings. And yeah, it makes no sense of the kidnapping and also that why they would hide the what do you call it? Yeah, they why they would hide the I forgot the term for that. The spoons and fork and all that stuff.
that these rules are boring. He wants to mess with the family because he's bored and apparently lacks any kind of survival instincts. So at night,
Yeah, makes sense.
while Mindy's sleeping, he sneaks to the house and just does stuff. Early in the
Why is he recording himself?
film, Greg woke up to a wet bed. Well, Alec peed on him, just stood over this sleeping man and peed
How do you not I'm sorry, how do you not realize that someone is peeing on you?
on him like a territorial cat. Greg wakes up confused and
That is so stupid. That guy is mentally ill.
embarrassed, and Alec's hiding in the shadows trying not to laugh. The missing silverware, well, Alec took it and stuffed it in the dryer.
Yeah, silverware, that's the term.
The TV turning it on, that was Alec with the remote. The photos pulled out of the frames, all So Alec, who apparently has the sense of humor of a spiteful ghost, but without the excuse of being dead. Watching these scenes play out again from Alec's perspective is weirdly funny and deeply disturbing at the same time. You're
Yeah,
laughing at how dumb his pranks are while also realizing how violated the Harpers are. Someone's been in their house watching them sleep. That's not funny anymore. Think about all the times you've come home and something
but like I think the twist they are going to show is those two were not the ones who threw the mug. I think that's
you
going to be
swear
the
you
twist.
thought you put in this right spot was missing. Was that you just forgetting? Or is someone secretly living in your house?
Okay, there is just a thing about difference about all the silverwares going missing and a thing being misplaced.
Well, Mindy finds out what he's been doing and loses it. She's terrified that they're going to get caught. Alec doesn't care.
Of
He's having
course.
too much fun playing Ghost. So Mindy starts crushing up Greg's sleeping pills and putting them in Alec's food to keep him knocked out at night, which on its own is kind of messed up, but at least it shows that she's trying and cares. And the
Yeah.
repairman incident, well, Mindy got careless
No, I don't think that's messed up at all. I think that's pretty fair.
and wandered into the open, and the guy saw her. She froze. He assumed that she was the daughter, and she let him think that.
Yeah,
Close call.
I guess
Too
so too.
close. Then we get to the day Todd shows up. Alex on the roof with Jackie's coffee mug. Mindy's yelling at him to stop, and the mug slips. It's not thrown, it just slips. And it falls and cracks Todd right in the skull. Alex's eyes go wide. That wasn't supposed to happen. This went from pranks to actual harm, and even he knows that's bad.
Oh my dude, you just got pranked.
They watch Jackie drag Todd inside and hide him in the basement. Mindy's panicking now, telling Alec that they need to leave immediately. He agrees, and they start packing. Now, the movie's done something clever here. You just spent 40 minutes thinking that these were paranormal events, and now you know it's just two idiots squatting in an attic. The fear shifts from
No,
supernatural to
no.
real. Ghosts
It's not that. I don't think there is still going to be something supernatural, or at least so I feel like.
cannot hurt you, but two unstable people living in your walls absolutely can, and you had no idea they were there. Mindy heads down to leave, but hears something in the basement, so she creeps down the stairs and sees Jackie leaving Todd there, promising to come back. And then Jackie drives off with Connor, and before Mindy can do anything, Greg comes home. She watches from the shadows as Greg walks up to the injured, barely conscious Todd, and Greg picks up a baseball bat and beats him to death. Just cold murder. Mindy's hand goes over her mouth. She just watched a cop kill someone. Greg then
Yeah,
walks
I guess so too.
upstairs like nothing happened. And later,
Because you see, the boy was. She just left him with his glasses, so it makes absolutely no sense that how he was the one who did that. Or she was the one who did that.
Mindy watches through a window as he convinces Jackie that Connor must have done it. She sees them bury the body together in the woods, and now Mindy knows that she's trapped in a house with a murderer. She runs upstairs to get Alec to leave right now.
That is like the worst possible scenario for those two. Froggers, or whatever you call them.
But when she gets there, Alec's in Connor's bathroom tying up the unconscious kid with a duct tape, and he's wearing the frog
Oh,
mask. Connor's out cold. This is where Alec crosses from annoying prankster into actual criminal. Tying up a teenager isn't a joke anymore.
I don't get
Mindy
it. Why
knows
would they
this
do
and
that?
screams at him to stop. Alec's defensive and saying that he's buying them time to escape. Neither of them are
Had headphones on, dude. You both could have had sneaked out quietly.
obviously thinking clearly. Fear is making people stupid,
Yeah.
and Alec was already kind of stupid. They then fight, and Mindy threatens to call the cops on Alec herself. He tries to grab her phone, she pulls back, he shoves her, and Mindy falls. It goes tumbling down the stairs and hits hard and stops moving at the bottom. Alec rushes down, she's unconscious, maybe worse, and he can hear a car pulling up. Greg and Jackie are coming back from burying Todd. There's no time, so
Makes sense now. These two are probably gonna get killed
Alec
too.
picks up Mindy's limp body and carries her to the garage and trunk of Greg's car, and then he runs. What Alec doesn't know is that Greg's about to drive that exact car out to search for whoever attacked Connor, and Mindy's about to wake up locked in a trunk, moving with no idea where she's going. When she finally comes to, it's dark and cramped and the car is on some back road. She finds a duffel bag next to her in the trunk, opens it, and inside there are multiple green pocket knives, a child's muddy jersey that says Witter, and other things that don't make sense until they do. Greg Harper isn't just a murderer. He's the one who took Justin Witter. He's the kidnapper that they've been looking for. The detective investigating the case is the person who committed the crime. This is the real twist. Not the Froggers, though that was surprising enough, but the actual gut punch is that Greg's been the monster this whole time.
Yeah, that is pretty surprising.
The cop, the father, the seemingly normal guy. He's literally been hiding in plain sight better than Mindy and Alec ever could. The car then stops. Mindy hears Greg get out, and she quietly pops the trunk and slips out into the woods. Her phone barely
How
has
did not
signal,
see your car trunk popping up? How do you not hear that?
but she gets through to 911. Whispers that she's found the missing boys, that Greg Harper is the kidnapper, and the call drops. Mindy moves to the trees and finds an old trailer hidden in the brush. Inside the trailer, locked in makeshift cells, are Justin Witter and another missing kid named Michael King. Both alive, but barely. She's trying to free them when Greg appears.
Why on earth would you try to free them? I am sorry, but first and foremost, if I was in that situation, I would help myself and get out of there. You can't help if you are not alive. You can't help if you are out cold.
Behind her, and everything goes dark. Greg then drags Mindy back to his house to clean up loose ends. He wakes her up by splashing water in her face. She's tied to a chair in the living room. Greg's calm, which is somehow
What is in the living room?
worse than if he was angry. He tells her exactly what he's going to do. Frame her and Alec for everything. Todd's murder, the break-in attacking Connor, and then he shoots her. Just executes her right there. Greg stages the scene to make it look like Mindy was an armed intruder. He's arranging everything when Alex shows up because he couldn't leave Mindy behind. He sneaks in through the back and finds her body. The grief turns into rage instantly. Alec grabs a fire axe from the garage and goes after Greg. They fight through the house, smashing furniture with blood everywhere. Alec gets in a good hit with the axe and cuts Greg's arm deep. Greg drops the gun, but Greg's bigger and manages to get Alec on the
Obviously, you can't fight an officer
ground
head
and
on.
starts choking him. And that's when Alex sees the gun within reach. He grabs it and shoots Greg twice in the chest. Greg falls back, dying. For the first time, actually looks at Alex's face. Like, really looks at it. And you can see the recognition hit him. He knows who this is. The movie's been building to this reveal the whole time, and it lands perfectly. Alec was one of the two boys Greg kidnapped 15 years ago. The other one was Tommy Braun, who had the panic attack when he saw Greg earlier. Alec didn't randomly choose the Harper house to squad in. He knew exactly whose house it was. This was revenge from the start. The frogging, the pranks, all of it was Alec trying to expose Greg or drive him crazy, or both. What makes this tragic is that Alec's plan gets Mindy killed. His need for
Exactly, that was so stupid.
revenge destroys the one person trying to keep him safe. And now he shot a cop, which means even though Greg's dead, Alec's probably going to prison. Nobody wins here. Police then burst in. Detective Spitsky's leading them. He sees Greg dead and sees Alec holding the gun and shoots him. He hits Alec in the shoulder and drops him. But before Alec passes out, he locks eyes with Spitsky, and Spitsky finally recognizes him. One of the boys they rescued all those years ago, the kid Greg claimed to have saved. Other cops search the woods based on Mindy's broken 911 call, and they find the trailer. Justin Witter and Michael King are still alive, barely, but they are alive. They get pulled out and rushed to hospitals. Back at the house, Jackie and Connor show up to police tape and ambulances and their entire life in ruins. Greg's dead on the floor. The truth about what he did is spreading through every officer on the scene. Jackie's trying to process that her husband was a serial child kidnapper, that she was married to this person for years and never knew. The movie ends with that weight. There's no happy resolution, no triumph.
Of course. That is because that is not supposed to be a happy movie. That's supposed to be a scary movie.
Music.
That is supposed to be a horror movie. Why would
standing in her
a horror movie have a good ending?
house that's now a crime scene, holding Connor, both of them destroyed by what Greg did. The boys are rescued, but they'll carry this trauma forever. Alec killed his abuser, but lost everything in the process. And Mindy's dead, all because she tried to help someone she cared about. That's what makes ICU different than most horror movies. There is no catharsis. The monster's dead, but it doesn't fix anything. The damage is permanent. This is a real life situation. Greg destroyed his own family, killed Mindy, and ruined Alec's chance at any kind of normal life. The last shot is Jackie's face as she realizes her entire marriage was a lie. Every moment, every memory, now poisoned by the truth. It's bleak and it's honest because this is what happens when evil hides that well. By the time
That's
it's
true. That is
exposed,
very
everyone's
true.
already broken. But that doesn't explain why this movie is so good. You could have all these twists and still have a horrible movie. The reason this works is not the twist. Well, okay, yeah, the twist helps. But what actually
I think it's the cinematography.
makes ICU terrifying is how real it feels. Frogging is an actual thing that happens. Not often, thankfully, because I would never sleep again, but it happens.
Yeah.
People have found strangers living in their attics.
Yeah, exactly. I said it
Their
already.
basements, their crawl spaces. There was a case in Japan where a woman lived in someone's closet for a year. A whole
I
year.
know.
Could you imagine opening your closet right now and finding someone just staring at you while you sleep? The homeowner only found the girl in Japan because he set up cameras to figure out why his food kept disappearing. That's the first layer of horror. Your home isn't safe.
Wait,
The
is
place
that person a Westerner? He looks like a
where you're
Westerner.
supposed to be the most secure could have someone in it right now, and you'd have no idea. Every weird noise, every missing item, every moment you feel like you're being watched, maybe you
No.
were right. The deeper horror is Greg, the trusted detective, the family man, the guy investigating the very crimes
Yeah.
he committed. That is not supernatural. That's just evil hiding behind a badge and a smile. It happens. Cops have
It
been
happens.
serial killers. Doctors have been serial killers.
Yeah.
Teachers, priests, politicians, people in positions of trust who use that trust to hurt others. The movie forces you to ask how well
It is not that rare actually. That is a very common thing. I mean, I won't say that is a common thing, but there have been quite a lot of cases about such things.
you actually know anyone. Jackie was married to Greg for years. She slept next to him every night, had a kid with him, and she had no idea what he was doing. If she, of all people, couldn't see it, how would you? And then there's the structure itself. Showing you the same events twice from different angles means that you're never going to be able to trust your first impression of anything. What looks like a ghost is actually two people in your attic. What looks like a cop is actually a child killer. The film trains you to question everything, and that unease doesn't just go away when the credits roll. I watched this movie,
That's really
liked
good.
it,
That's a pretty good movie. I bet it's a pretty good movie.
and immediately checked my attic. I found nothing, obviously. I mean,
Thankfully.
I didn't look that
Thankfully.
hard. It's pretty dark up there and scary. And if someone's been living there this whole time, honestly, they've earned at this point. You know, rent's high. I get it. But seriously, you watching this video right now, go check your attic and your
No, but like seriously, like I would not live in someone's attic. I would not live in my attics. That's scary.
basement and your closet, because there's
And it's dirty. It's not clean.
definitely someone in there. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to give it a like and comment down below what you thought of this movie if you've seen it already.
You know, I bet there are a few comments saying, "Oh, you were scared of that? I have had people kidnapped in my basements all along." Okay. Anyway, that's it for today, and see you all in the next video. That was a really fun video, by the way. Like, I saw a lot from it.